You know, growing herbs is so easy if you've got some sunshine. That's the #1 ingredient to success where growing herbs is concerned, with the possible exceptions of mint and oregano, which will grow in some dappled shade. But even they prefer full sun. You see, most of the herbs, like the ones I have along the windowsill here in my potting shed, are native to, or originate rather, in the Mediterranean area, with the exception of basil, which I have here. I have lettuce leaf basil and some mini basil, which actually originated in India. Nevertheless, they still love the heat. Now, they are very frost sensitive, and I wouldn't plant them in anything but really warm soil. So don't get too ambitious with basil. But all of these other plants, for instance, like sage or stevia, a wonderful sugar substitute, rosemary, lemon thyme, and over here we've got some summer savory if you enjoy fish. All of these plants lend themselves to both growing in the ground and growing in containers. So let's talk about containers for just 1 minute. Make sure whatever you're planting into, like this window box for instance, has drainage. You see this? That's so important. You've got to have the holes in the bottom of the pot so the water has somewhere to go. Remember, Mediterranean, India, they love it hot, they love it dry. And then you're going to make sure that you either use a little bit of pottery around the holes in order to keep the soil from flowing through, or maybe a Mark's Choice pothole, which you can, by the way, get at Home Hardware. So we're going to then use some good quality soil. This Pro Mix container mix is fabulous. It's got everything that you need to successfully grow some great looking herbs this summer. And they are a wonderful summer crop. Herbs do so well if you've got that sunshine. Now, just when you're planting these into the same container, make sure that each of the plants in the container have pretty much the same cultural demands. In this case, lots of heat. They like to get dry between waterings, and they're not going to get too big. Don't put dill in a container or fennel in a container because they really lend themselves to growing in the garden. They just get so large. And take your basil and sequester them in a separate pot all to themselves because their cultural demands are a little bit different. In other words, they demand more water than these other plants do. Growing herbs in containers, not very difficult at all, as long as you've got the sunshine and you do it right in the first place.